What's going on, everybody? Deacon here. And I know some of you guys may have looked at the title and been thinking to yourself like, man, where's Deacon going? Well, to be honest with you guys, I'm not going anywhere. But after this video, some of you might. Something's been going on the past 2 months that's been bothering me. And I didn't think too much about mentioning it until Sean Phelps made the first point that he made in the I Don't Understand video. And it made me pay more attention to something that was been going on. When I was watching a video by Junior86, in one of his videos, he asked a question like, why do parents think it's okay to shame their children on the internet? And I'm not trying to say what I'm about to say is the reason, but it's definitely one of the reasons. The reason why I believe some parents think it's okay to shame their children on the internet, because as adults, we do it to each other all the time. I'm not trying to make this into some stupid hashtag or make it seem like it's equal to or at worse than the child shaming that's going on. I'm not trying to do that at all. But I've seen adults shame other adults so much that this is why I think that some parents think it's okay to do it to their children. For example, I've seen on the internet stay-at-home moms argue with moms who work and how they just try to put down each other. They'll say things like,
you don't know what it's like to have to get up in the morning, get yourself and your children ready, then either take your kids to school or drop them off with a daycare or a babysitter, work for somebody else for 8 hours, then have to pick your kids up and still cook, clean, or take care of the household. You just get to stay at home all day. I don't know why people think that being a stay-at-home mom is so easy. Just because I don't have a regular 9 to 5 still doesn't mean I don't work. Yes, I still have to get the kids up and ready to go to school, or if they're not in school yet, they're with me all day. There's still errands that need to be run. There's still things that need to be taken care of in the household. Just because I don't have to worry about dropping my kids off at a daycare or a babysitter or family member does not mean that I don't do any work at home.
and I constantly see the back and forth. You talk about certain things such as breastfeeding. Some women think it's okay to breastfeed their child until the child no longer wants to breastfeed, while you have other parents who shame them, especially if they're out in public, and saying, why would you do such a thing? You should only do it either for a certain amount of time, or if you're going to do it in privacy. We don't want to see that out in public. Oh, and don't let me get on the topic of discipline. Now, me personally, I don't spank my children because fortunately for me, just threatening to take something away or telling them that they won't be rewarded for certain things works for me. But me growing up and then me seeing other kids and being around other parents with their kids, I find out that what works for me doesn't work for them. Like, my kids are well behaved out in public, but you got some kids, no matter what you do, no matter how many sit downs or don't you embarrass me in here, certain things that you say to your kids, it's not going to work for them. And they need a little bit more persuasion, so to speak. Now, me, I'm not the type of parent, I'm not against popping them on the hand or popping them on the butt. The only thing I am against totally is abuse. But when you talk about things such as discipline, you talk about parental shaming, it is terrible. And the only point I'm just trying to make with this video, and that Sean touched on, if you have a different opinion from my own, and you share that, I have no issue with that. I'm mature enough to say, hey, we don't see things in the same area when it comes to this particular topic. But that's not a big deal. I see it all the time with religion. I see it all the time with politics. I see it with music. I even see it with different types of jobs people do. You can't say that what one person does is greater than the other or worse than another. As long as we are not hurting each other, as long as we are not putting each other down, I personally don't see a problem with it. For example, I don't drink or smoke, but it's not because of my beliefs. It's mainly because of the people who I love and respected. I saw the decisions that they made in their lives while partaking, whether it was an alcohol, weed, or anything else, and seeing how they act or seeing the things that they used to do, I told myself, you know what, I don't want to be that person. So I said to myself, I'm just not going to do it. But I don't bash or knock those who partake in those things responsibly. Now, for those who abuse it, I will say shame on you, because you're not only hurting yourself, but you could potentially hurt someone else as well. But for those who use it responsibly, even though I don't personally do it, do what you do, because you're an adult. As long as you're a legal adult, do what you're going to do. But that's all I really have to talk about in this particular video about this particular topic. I promise you, if you stay subscribed to this channel long enough, I will say something that you will disagree with. The importance is are you mature enough to be able to handle somebody who may share a difference of opinion or something? Because we're not all going to agree on the same thing all the time. But you mean that should sever a friendship or a bond or something that somebody just holds a different opinion on something? That's foolish. That's foolish to me. But hey, tell me what you guys think. Leave a comment in the comment section below. I really want to know what you guys think about this particular topic, because seeing how adults pick on or shame other adults is crazy to me. If somebody doesn't hold the same opinion or share the same opinion you do about something, so what? Like I said, as long as they're not hurting themselves, they're not hurting someone else, you could say, hey, that's not for me. But to try to insult them, degrade them, or tell them they're less than, before you say shame on them, you should look in the mirror and say shame to yourself, because there are a much better approaches and a much better way to address these things than to try to shame them for doing it.